in person or you're someone streaming this online, we are so happy that you're joining us today. My name is Tim McGahee. I've been a member here for almost 4 years, and this has been a very wonderful place to be and a wonderful place to share your values. By the way, which I have to do too, if you have a cell phone and haven't turned it off or turned it to airplane mode, please do so now so we don't get interrupted. Yeah.
We have some beautiful music.
We do. Oh, and thank you for reminding me. I've taken the spot here. I was anxious. Let's listen to this from Eliza. Thank you. We are a welcoming community. Whoever you are, however you identify, wherever you come from, and whoever you love, you are welcome here. Our Sunday services are different each week so that we can honor and learn from our wide array of traditions and beliefs. We come together because we share certain values. We don't share the same creeds. Matter of fact, I think if you put 20 Unitarian Universalists in a room and ask them what creeds they have, you come up with at least 30 different ones. But our values bring us together, and that's really what this whole ceremony is about. Today is the flower ceremony, and we are lucky to be celebrating the 100th anniversary of this. And I think this, for many people, is one of the favorite things that happens. Though we walk each in our own path here in this place, in the land of the Osage, the Cherokee, the Shawnee, and the Yuchi, and now at this time, we journey together as one. Today we're going to have our chalice lighting, and Jeff Strong is going to be lighting the chalice. And now, if you will join us in the hymn number 362, it's on the back, but the words will be shown up here, and please join in. you very much. Thank you, everybody. Today we have our opening words done by Roxanne, and through the magic of technology, since she couldn't be here, she recorded this for us today. Matt, you go ahead and put that on.
Reverend Mrs. Maya V. Capek, a letter to the Reverend D. Ernest Kubler, American Unitarian Association, June 1st, 1961. Delighted to hear that there are intentions of releasing a pamphlet on the Flower Communion. While I do not care what and how the individual churches perform this service, as I told before, I was a bit dismayed recently over the fact that some churches, the San Francisco one included, use it as a substitute for Easter or any other myth. Norbert never meant it to be this, nor was it ever, and is not to this day, held at Easter. Capek's only motivation was to stress and bring about brotherhood. As a symbol, he used flowers because in the name of a flower or flowers, no wars were waged, as was the case with the cross or the chalice. The flowers are used as symbols of the gifts which each person can make to the church and through the church to other persons. Because of the large variety, each person is able to express his individuality. The exchange of flowers means that I shall walk without reservation with anyone, regardless of his social status or his former religious affiliation, as long as he is ready and willing to go along in the search of truth and service to man.
Hymn, which will be led, if I can find my master sheet here, is going to be View the Starry Realm, number 28.
Since this is a new one for us, I've asked Eliza to play it for us once. John, how many times have we done this song in the past? 15? 50. Wow, well, I don't remember it. We're going to go ahead and have her play it anyway. If you would all stand, if you're willing and able.
View the starry realm of heaven.
But by the way, I wanted to tell you that the two hymns that we'll be singing, this one, were written by Norbert Chapek, and because of it's the 100th anniversary, most of our material are coming directly from him or his wife. And that's right, Fred, you just set that right there. At this point, we're going to have the children's recessional, and I would like, if those of you who are participating, if you would like to bring and share your flowers now before you go. And we'll make sure you get flowers back after you leave. And that's really good. Janine is, and Jeff, well, let me tell you just a little bit while we go, but let's first, well, they're left, but let's sing this anyway. They'll appreciate it, and we will appreciate it. Now, we're going, before we go to the offertory, which normally doesn't happen, let me explain. We decided in the process of wanting to celebrate the flower ceremony, the flower celebration, Jeff and I, who were responsible, Jeff Strong and I, who were responsible, we thought it was very important that not only hear those of you celebrate and see the end of the service, but I really wanted the people at home to see that too, because I think the very end of it is, to me, one of the most important aspects of it. So what we've done is rearrange things a little bit. We're going to have the offertory and the community news, and we'll have an offer for membership. We will not today, because of the time, we will not be offering joys and concerns, because we want to have the service run so that people can see all of us gathering the flowers. And those of you who are streaming this but may not have but may have the opportunity to stop this, we'd love for you to gather, to bring flowers. If you don't have flowers, you can bring a plant. If you don't have that, sticks and stones will be important. And sticks and stones do play a role in this ceremony. So it's not just humorous. So let us now, with this congregation and this offertory, we like to do the work that we do, and we appreciate very much the support of everyone. And the offering is a sacrament to our free church. We have to pay the electricity, we have to keep the heat running, we have to do a variety of things that just cost money, and as everybody knows, it's costing more nowadays. So what we're going to do is we have John and Eliza playing a tune for us, and as we enjoy the music, the offering that you give will be received in grateful appreciation. Those of you who are at home and would like to contribute, you can do this through the material, through the signs up here. Liza. We appreciate that very much. We now have some community news, and I will call Sharon up first. She had something to tell us about our picnic.
Yes, I want to talk about this. This was last awarded at our last,
Actually, come up to the mic. If you can come up to the mic. I'll give you a hand here, and I'll be your holder.
Okay.
Here.
So in 2019, we last awarded this trophy at our picnic, and it was the last time we had an opportunity to honor new members. And so, and Michelle Steiner came up with this trophy. So we are ready to start again, and Rhonda is going to be, and Anna are going to be our game masters next Sunday. So, and I think you're going to have teams, and we're going to compete, and somebody is going to win this trophy, but we'll keep it here at church. So, a couple things. It will be a potluck. It will be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Janet Ray Conley is our grill master, but we need desperately another grill master. Larry, are you going to be in town? I know he for 2 years he was our grill master. Did an excellent job. But we need someone else. Anyone? All right. Well, we will see. I have someone else in mind that's not here today. Hopefully they'll agree to do it, because it really is a lot for one person to do, even if Spencer helps. Okay, so bring a dish. We'll have plates, glasses, things like that. But in keeping with our green goals, if you want to bring your own silverware and glasses and dishes, that would be great. All right, thank you very much,
You're
Tim.
very welcome. Well, let me hold this while I help you down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, Covington Woods Park. There's a golf course there, and we have the largest shelter in the whole system, in the Warren County Park system. So it's a great facility, and there's a wonderful playground right next door to that.
And I assume that there'll be, in the e-blast, there'll be a whole description so that we all know exactly where to go and everything.
Right.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
There you go.
Go Team Union.
And next, I'd like to ask Diane to come up. She has a couple of things to talk to us about.
Article 2 of the UUA bylaws contain the core of our faith, the principles and the purposes. The UUA Board of Trustees selected an Article 2 study commission to review and propose the revisions. The 2-year report has been released, and I've been sharing it over the last few months in the e-blasts. Natalie Barman and Ryan Thomas, who couldn't be here today, are our 2 delegates, one virtual, one in person. And they are inviting us all to two discussion sessions. The first one will be this Wednesday, June 7th at 5:30 here in the sanctuary. The second one will be on June 18th, immediately after a Sunday service. In order for them to vote the wishes of our congregation, they need to know how the congregation feels. I ask you, please become informed, read everything in the e-blasts, and bring your discussion those days. And then also, I'd like to, before our picnic next week, Hudost is appearing here. Hudost is a married couple, Mokska and Jamal, and they are touring all over. They've toured Europe. They have fabulous music. They're going to have the whole hour. But they are also activists who work for the organization One. So they're going to bring their music and their activism. And I ask all of you, if you can make it next week, please do.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Just a couple of short things. The newsletter may be coming out just once a week as we roll out this new experiment. So please, when it comes, or if it doesn't come Tuesday, no, it'll come maybe Wednesday or Thursday. And you may have noticed the construction on the gas line has now come to our property. I think it was fine. I walked today, so I don't know. Was it fine today? There was no trouble? There will be trouble next week. It won't be, I didn't think it was possible to make a left in. So if you need to access the building, come so that you can make a right onto the property.
Thank you. Are there any other community news that we would like to share? The only thing that I can think of, and many of you know this, but for all of our streaming viewers and those that don't know, our associate minister, she never goes by Reverend Claudine Oliva, she goes by Deanie, has taken a mission with the Red Cross as she does with Lot, but this time it's a little different. She's on her way today to Guam. She will be there, unlike the usual the time commitment. It's normally, if you're here in the United States, the Red Cross commitment is normally 2 weeks, but because it's overseas, it will be 3 weeks. So everybody keep her in your thoughts, and she hopefully will be back safe. If anybody is interested in joining or just getting more information about Unitarian Universalists, or maybe joining the congregation, please speak to someone on our membership team. Can those of you who are on the membership team raise your hands? We've got Eileen and Sharon, and also our president, John Downing. John, would you wave your hand so they'll know who you are, if we don't already? And you can find out more about us if you're at all interested, including in the community news, which is what Michelle was talking about. You'll see information on our bulletin board, and you can follow us on Facebook and the website and so forth. So I guess right now we are ready to talk about the flower ceremony and begin this. And this is the 100th anniversary, as I mentioned before, of the service. I think to get a little bit of perspective, Jeff is going to be talking a little bit about the history of that. Jeff?
Good morning. Today is June 4th, and it was June 4th, 1923, that the first flower celebration was brought to the Prague congregation by Norbert Čapek. And it was 1920 when Maya, his wife, and Norbert, who were both immigrants from Czechoslovakia, were living in New Jersey. Norbert was a Baptist minister, ordained, and they were unhappy with the religious community and sent 3 of their school-aged children out into East Orange, New Jersey, hoping to find a better church community. They were hoping to avoid the myths and dogma that they found kind of held them down. Both of them had come from Catholic background, and Norbert had converted to Baptist when he was a young man. But he was still unhappy. The Baptists had tried excommunicating him twice for phrasing wrongly who Jesus Christ was. He never seemed to admit that Jesus was God. And the Baptists took action against that, but they never won. But anyway, he sent out his children into the community to find a better Sunday school. So it was really children and Sunday schools that started this whole thing. His children landed upon the first Unitarian Church of Essex County in Orange, New Jersey, and they found that they loved it and told their parents about it, and Maya and Norbert fell in love with the Unitarian philosophy from the first meeting. It was during that time that Norbert was already planning to go back to Czechoslovakia. They had just gained their freedom to be any religion. Apparently they used to have to be Catholics. So Norbert was going to go to Czechoslovakia and bring the Baptist theology there, and he was just waiting for the sale of his house in New Jersey to do that. But it was during that time they started going here and they found something better. So the American Unitarian Association got wind of Norbert's desire to go back and do that for the Baptist, so they offered to pay his way and support him to bring a freer liberal philosophy to Prague, which is where they were going. And that's what they did. They didn't have to wait for the sale of their house. They ended up in 1921 starting the Liberal Religious Fellowship in Prague on Karlova Street, along with 8 mission stations around in those surrounding locations. The Nazi stuff started during that time, and Norbert was afraid for his family, so he sent them back to New Jersey. And finally, the Nazis started spreading more, and Norbert actually sent a letter to America seeking help from the Unitarian Association, because he thought the Americans could help start hiding and getting people out of Prague. So he was involved with a lot of the underground movement there. And that ended up being his downfall. In 1942, the Nazis arrested him and his daughter Zora, who had stayed with her father. They caught them listening to the BBC and sent Norbert to Dachau and his daughter to do forced labor in Germany. And it was during that time that it was said of Norbert that he was a source of inspiration to his fellow prisoners, some of whom testified that the Unitarian leader could not have been sent to a place where he was more needed than Dachau. A Catholic priest wrote that Norbert achieved his greatest ministry there among the despairing who lived in the very shadow of death. Without him, we could not have endured. It was said in one place that Norbert led a flower ceremony in Dachau, using what they had, sticks and stones. Norbert was murdered by the Nazis in Alkoven, Austria, on October 30th, 1942, but Maya became an ordained minister of the Unitarian Fellowship in New Jersey, and she started bringing the flower celebrations throughout America during that time. And so today we present the flower celebration in our church and with our flowers, and I brought sticks and stones to celebrate Norbert's part in that.
Actually, there's one more picture over here. This is the stained glass. He founded the Unitarian Church in Prague, which is called in Czech is Unitaria, which is what we saw. And I think if you can get the next shot, which is this is atop the Unitaria in Prague, which I really wanted to picture because I thought that. Our symbol here was very neat with it actually set up as a candle. So he did a great deal of work, and his wife and daughter did a great deal more. Now, what I would like to do as we move on, we are moving our meditation to, I wanted to have us focus on something in particular. We've asked you to bring flowers because those flowers are a token of yourself. And you can think about many things that you could see in similarity. You could see that both the flowers and you are beautiful. Maybe life is short for both the flower, the blossom, and for yourself. Maybe it's a little longer, but at the end, you'll be like the rest of us and starting to negotiate for a little more time. But what I'd like to do is to use the meditation here as a chance for you to really focus on that flower and to see what that token of a flower means, because we're going to ask you to bring that up, and I'd like you to think about it. We will start with the bringing of the bowl. As I mentioned, the flowers represent a token, and what we would like to do now is to have people basically bring their flowers, and we've asked both Jeff and we were able to get Janine back here. I didn't mention that because when we were preparing this, I felt like we had very big shoes to fill because Janine had been doing this for the last few years, and I was very excited to have her participate. So we're going to bring the flowers, and we'll set those up so that you can drop them off in one of the vases. And meantime, Jeff and Janine would like to come up front, and we will get ready to ask people to come in. Jeff? And do we have Janine, or is... Oh, okay. Oh, she's over in RE? Okay. Well, then Jeff will handle this. So at the beginning of the music, we would like people to come up as they might. Please note you do not have to participate. For any reason you feel that you don't want to do that, please do. And those of you who are watching this on the screen, this would be a good time to bring your flower and put that sort of in front of the screen as an offering of your token. Go ahead with music. Thank you, thank you, Thank you. I said this is us, and it really is. I'd like you to take a moment to realize that these flowers, all of us have thought about these flowers. We've shared perhaps thoughts of whatever, our talents, and together, but we bring them together because we share our values. We share basically respect for all living people and for all, well, actually all people. And we very much appreciate and know that our very brotherhood and sisterhood is the only way that we can do that. It's hard to do this enough by yourself, but having the community, having people who share in these values makes it so much better. It makes it, and we can actually address. So regardless of what we believe, we can act together. I don't know if that's, last week we heard the minister come in, and he was working with a lot of very conservative, and if you may not have seen this, but he basically said that we had no creed, and none of them could believe that you'd have a church based on that. We have a church based on our common values, and that means that we see ourselves in our brotherhood, our sisterhood, and our ability to do and to use that energy to act together. At this time, I'm going to ask Becky to come up and read a responsive reading. This is not in your books, so it will be up on the screen. And you can come on up. There we go. There we go.
Okay. No two flowers are alike. No two people are alike, yet each has a contribution to make. Each would help to make this world as beautiful and as colorful as a bouquet. With these flowers, we come together. Organized and growing into a true community, we are ready to serve one another, the nation, and the world. With these flowers, we come together. By exchanging flowers, we signify that we are willing, in the spirit of tolerance and patience, to march together in search of the truth, disregarding all that usually divides humankind. With these flowers, we come together.
And now we're going to be doing our last hymn, which, as I mentioned, is number 78 in your book, Color and Fragrance. This also was written by Reverend Chopin.
John, how many times have we done this one? Two times. So, one. Okay, within memory. It has 6 verses, but we've decided 4 would be plenty. We're going to invite Eliza to play it for us one time through first. please stand if you're willing and able.
Thank you very much. What we will be doing now, and we've asked that we include this in the end so that all the people who may be watching can share in this also. I have a final benediction to read, and then we will be closing down. And now the most important part, everybody comes and takes a flower, but most importantly, take a different flower. Because these, while they're tokens of you, they're also the tokens of everybody else here. And when you have that, you know you have not only your dreams and thoughts and so forth, but you have theirs. And just as the community gives, we give to the community, that community gives back to us. And this is what this token will refer to. So let me now read a final blessing on this event. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid the diversities of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of comradeship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish friendship as one of the Spirit's most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the efforts of all of us are needed to do thy work in the world. We will now extinguish the chalice. And as I said, we're going to do this a little bit differently, because what we like you to do is to come, pick a flower, a different flower. I'd like you to exit, but if you decide you really like to come back and listen to some of the music, please do. But that way If people need to leave, that they can, but be sure to come. And regardless of whether you picked a flower or not, brought a flower or not, take one with you. Jeff, are you going to? We'll be extinguishing the flame. As our gathering ends, we will extinguish the flame in the chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our heart wherever we go. Farewell. Go in peace. Go in service to others. Go in love.